Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Wirecast Live, and thanks for bearing with us as we get back into our groove here at Telestream headquarters. It's been a while. Welcome. Thanks for joining us and tuning in. Let me pull up our comments here and see who's joining us. Say hi, leave a comment in the comment field on Facebook. We'll also be going live on the Perry Girls Periscope feed, so that those comments and that stream should be up shortly. So we'll be giving shout outs to the crowd joining us over there. And thanks for joining us. Michelle, welcome. It's going to be a fun show. This should be a sort of our first time back from NAB. And if you haven't sort of caught the latest or what we've been up to, I can give you some updates on what we've been doing over at that show and how things went. I think you saw maybe some of the live streams we did from out there. And then today we're going to have a really fun sort of interview, free-flowing discussion with Joanne Pham from Perry Girls. She is a live streamer who focuses mostly on Periscope, and I'm really excited to dive in and talk to her about some of the advantages that platform offers over other places you can stream live, for example, like Facebook and YouTube and some of the other places we are known for streaming on. So Joanne's an expert. She's been doing Periscope streaming for a long time. She knows just about everything there is to know about that platform since it started, and she's one of the most active contributors to it. So I hope you guys get a lot out of this interview. It should be a fun episode. This was a long-winded intro, but welcome. We're back. I'll see you right after the opening credits. Welcome back, everybody, and thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Wirecast Live. Again, a bit of a fun start here. We were, as usual, getting ready for some things, and then other things kind of happened. We had some internet problems again, but no, not a big deal. More or less, everything's working. We've got comments that are streaming, and so I'm actually watching those in my desktop social media tool. In fact, Deborah Lee, if you want to cut to this comment to my desktop, I can pull this up and show people what I'm doing to push these live. So right now I'm just looping a selected playlist, and I can usually pull or get your comments just by clicking my handy little get comments button here. So if you leave them here, it should pull up different comments. Let's head over and search for a little hashtag here. You'll see I can actually search Twitter comments here, and I can actually add those to my little playlist, which we can loop here as we're going. So as we talk and get into the discussion, you can either do the hashtag Perry Girls or hashtag Wirecast, and we'll look for your comments there. Or if you want to leave them on the live stream here, we will hopefully get those running. They were just here. I'm not sure where they went, but I've got that going on behind the scenes. Leave us a shout out or a comment. And welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us. It's been a whirlwind ride. We had NAB show. We announced or previewed some features in Wirecast 9. You'll be finding out a lot more about those coming soon. Wirecast 9, if you didn't know, is already out in beta. Some of the cool features like the X keys controller, and some of the new ad source stuff is in there now, so check it out. It's definitely worth your time. Let me grab that "will be live shortly" comment, because we don't need that one anymore. We'll take that off. And we can actually, I'm just going to stop the looping here, and we'll just push one live whenever we get to it. But the long way of saying that the show was really fun, actually. I think NAB attendance overall was maybe a little down from last year, but as far as the Telestream experience and our booths and our kiosks there, it was great. We had a ton of interest. We had a brand new booth, which I was really excited to. Actually, you can watch a tour of it earlier in our feed here if you're curious to see if you've never been to NAB, it's kind of this massive show in Vegas, sort of like the Consumer Electronics Show in a sense, but more for broadcasters and video makers and the broadcast industry. So the booths, it's like a small city that pops up and then goes away after a few days. And there's just booths everywhere, and everyone pulls out all the stops, and broadcasters and industry executives and people with, video background. Facebook's there, Google's there, Blackmagic's there, AJA's there, everybody that you kind of names you might recognize from this industry, or from, the types of cameras you use to the types of computers and software that you use for video generally tend to show up to that show. I think it's the largest one in North America. So long, again, way of saying that if you want to kind of get a sneak peek of what that show's like, there's a number of tours that we did, or I did during the show, to give you a little bit of a behind-the-scenes peek at the booth and some demos of some of the features we were showing off. So all in all, great show, good response. We're glad to be back. That was a couple weeks ago, and we're sort of, since then, we've rebuilt the studio a little bit, redone our broadcasting computer, and we are kind of getting back in the chair here to start giving you more great content. So if you were at NAB, leave me a comment or shout out or say something. Let me know what you thought of the show, or if you like those live streams or there's other types of live streams you want to see, just leave it in the comment field and we'll try to get to it. Without further ado, I would like to basically jump into our interview today. We're running a little behind, and I want to get as much time with Joanne as I can because there's so many questions I want to ask her. So without further ado, joining me from her home in Southern California is the founder of Perigirls, which, if you don't know about, is a group dedicated to Periscope streamers, women primarily, although we'll have to ask if men are allowed to join the Perigirls group, and is Joanne Pham, and the founder of that. So Joanne, are you on the line? You should be coming in through our Skype feed. There you are.
Yay!
Hey! Welcome. So we had some internet trouble getting you on a little earlier. Everything okay there? It seems like the signal's good now.
Everything is good, but that's how it is with live streaming.
That's how it rolls.
Anything can happen. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Backup. But honestly, you never know what's going on with Comcast or with AT&T or Verizon. They don't tell you. They won't tell you. It's either up or it's down, right?
Yep.
So, Joanne, welcome and thanks for making time. And is everything okay on the Periscope stream? Is your crowd with us? Do you want to take a moment to do any shout-outs there before we get started?
No, everything is good. I see everybody coming in to
Okay.
Periscope. I see them coming in on Facebook Live. I want to say hi to y'all. This is so exciting to bring all our live streaming community together because that's what it is all about, community.
I completely agree, and I'm a little long-winded sometimes. So if you need to cut me off and be like, Andrew, shut up. I need to say this or something. Just feel free to interrupt me at any time. What I know your crowd probably already knows a little bit about your story and your background, but my crowd, our Wirecast crowd, may not know it as well. So can you take a moment to just give us an introduction, who you are, what you do, and how you came to start Perigirls?
Sure. I'll make it really, really short. I used to work in corporate America, and there was a time where they said, it's time for you to go. So I said, okay, I'm out of here. And I decided to just do the online thing because I wanted to be able to stay home with my children and make a living doing that. So I found all these different opportunities online, and one of them was live streaming. And when I first started, I saw Periscope, and I was like, wow, this is really, really amazing. And I thought, you know what? So many people would do so well if they just knew what to do and to aggregate with other people that wanted to learn how to do this. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, I'm going to create a women's group so that I can help teach women how to do video marketing, how to do live streaming, how to be on camera without being nervous, and to get their messages out there, because so many women have so much to say. They have so many passions, they have so many visions, so many things that they want to get out in the world, and live streaming is the best way to do this because it's so new, it's so innovative, it's so outreaching. You know what I'm saying? Totally.
I think that it's an incredible opportunity right now. Right now is the time for, just to date myself, I've started doing the live video stuff about 5 years ago when I kind of took the job at Telestream here. So I really wanted to catch up. I'd been out of the video industry for a while, but it seemed like it was just getting into this wave of sort of the Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Ustream, Justin TV. All this stuff was becoming available, and I thought it was really democratizing voices and media, and people were beginning to tell their stories more than ever before to more people across the world. And of course, this is the time for women to start saying, to start adding their voice to everything. I mean, we've really seen a huge growth in that. I'm so excited to see that voice coming in and stronger and more powerful than it's been in a long time. And maybe ever, I don't know. So this seems like the perfect time to do both of those things and to harness the power that these types of technologies give us, but also use it to tell the stories that have never been told before. And I think that's, to me, that sounds like exactly what you're doing, right?
Exactly. And the really, really nice thing about Periscope is it has leveled the playing field. You don't need to be a super rock star. You don't need to be a movie star. You don't need to be a giant community leader. Everybody is the same. Everybody comes out, they have a story, they get shared, people can find them. It's awesome. It's awesome. Anybody can be awesome on this platform.
So what do you like? How do you bring value to your customers, your fans, your followers? What is it that your mission is? Do you work with coaching sessions? Do you give tips for how to do live? Do you have classes? Do you do consulting? What is it that you're bringing to the Perry Girls brand and group that allows that somebody who's new and joining that group would be interested in? If for example, there's Wirecast users out there who want to get involved with Perry Girls.
Well, first and foremost, it's all about community. It's about putting people together that have like minds, that want to do something together with other people, because getting out on live streaming is very, very intimidating. It's scary. When you first got, you're like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to show my face. I don't know what to say. I don't know what
Totally.
to do. So we create a community of ladies where we help you. We have activities where we do like a pass the cast, where we pass your broadcast on to our followers, and then we go down the line. And so we basically bring the audience, we bring the comments, we bring the hearts, we bring everything that first timers or newbies are afraid because they won't receive them, because they're like, nobody's out there for me. Nobody knows me.
You guys are like Toastmasters for Periscope.
Yes, yes, exactly.
That's awesome.
So we teach. We have tips and trips. Tricks and tips and trips. Yes, and we train them. We have connection points, like I said, so that they can talk back and forth. And because Facebook is worldwide 24/7, there's always somebody that's up and awake that can answer a question.
That's so cool. So, okay, so I got to ask, are boys allowed? Is this a girls only club?
It is a girls only club. And just because, I have to say, it's because some women, and I will agree too, that we can feel more vulnerable around other women. We sometimes when men are around, we kind of feel like we have to be a certain way.
It works the same way too with guys, right?
Well, that's
guys
why
feel like
have their own club.
You're right.
Yeah, so I thought that
not always healthy, but
yeah, but for newbies and for starters, and to create that community,
totally,
and to have that feeling of strength. We want ladies to become vulnerable. We want them to be at the very baseline so that they can grow, become strong, and then just go crazy. Get
out there. That's so cool. So you guys are providing, again, the support, the encouragement, the audience. I mean, it's so nice to feel like I would, as a streamer, it's nice to know that when you go live, there's actually people there that are listening and watching. And just a shout out to people doing that right now for us. It really means a lot, because it gives us feedback that we are actually at least being listened to and being heard, and that some of what we're providing is valuable to someone.
Exactly. And it's the like minds thing. They say that birds of a feather, they flock together. We all want to see everybody do well. We want to see everybody succeed. We want to see everybody get their message out there, regardless of what it is, who you are, how old you are, your sexual orientation, what nationality you are. Everybody, we embrace everybody, and we want to see everybody succeed.
Now, so tell me, I think that's a wonderful message, and I think it's a huge piece of the live streaming. Everybody's equal. We now have the chance to get on there and not only be the host when we are the host, but sometimes just be the audience and the viewer, and then just be a participant in the conversation. And so I think that it's so cool that all of that's wrapped up in how you guys are orchestrating Perry Girls, that everybody's sort of passing, and revolving through the seats and sharing and changing and working together to make everyone successful. Can you talk a little bit about your experience on Periscope specifically and how that's helped with your mission and what you guys are doing at Paragirls?
Well, basically, when you just put your words out there, what your vision is out there, it's kind of like when, who was that guy that said, build it and they will come, from Kevin Costner, I think it was.
That's a Field of Dreams.
Yes. So when you put something out into the universe wants to help you, right? So they put the people that are needing to hear your message into your audience, and then that's when you guys can lock arms and do great things together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Sorry, I was trying to get the comments on the screen, and I double-clicked it, and I finally got them. So I'm finally able to read everybody's comments, because I was only seeing 3 here, and I was like, says there's 50, and for some reason it's just not open. Facebook wasn't allowing me to see this. So it makes perfect sense, and in fact, I see a ton of, just, again, like-minded people in the audience saying they completely agree with that, and they're definitely, you have some fans here, Joanne, so I think it's pretty good.
Do some shout-outs, because I'd love to. I can't see the comments right now, so I would love to hear who's out there. All
right, so we have Heather Karwacki, we have Terry White, who will be on the show next week, we have Janae Anderson, we have, looks like Michelle Garrett. We have Kristen Robinson, checking in, we have Sue Zimmerman and Baby Judy. That's a great name. Paragirls in the house. Awesome. And a number of other folks joining us. And Sabrina. I mean, there's people showing up and showing the love. So maybe tell us a little bit about your experience with Paragirls in the comments. If there's something you want that it helps you with, or things that you like about what Joanne's doing over at Paragirls, we'd love to get some more comments for that and get those out there during the cast so everybody can understand and get your experience with it. So Joanne, tell me, so you've been doing Paragirls. When did you start it? When did you found it?
2015, I think it was a couple months after Periscope launched.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you nervous the first time you went on? Did you kind of build Paragirls kind of from the lessons you were learning as you started?
I have to say this because I think it's always so funny, because I'm Asian, obviously, right? And Asians love cameras. We love video. I was, as soon as I came out of the womb, my dad was with the camera and the video and everything. So I'm so used to doing it. It's second nature to me.
Got it.
And so that's why I thought I would want to lend my expertise and my experience to other ladies so that they could to grab onto that and just go, oh, okay, I get it, and then they could utilize that in their toolbox.
All right, so not an issue getting on camera. That's good to have that childhood training. That seemed to have served you well. So tell us a little bit about your journey on Periscope. What have you noticed about the platform? I'm really interested to get your take on Periscope in 2015 to Periscope in 2018 and beyond.
Well, Periscope, I prefer Periscope out of all the live streaming platforms, and I'll tell you why. Well, there's a few reasons. So first of all, the latency, there practically is none. As soon as you see, as soon as a person types something, you see it automatically, and then you can respond automatically. It's like you're having a conversation in real life. I find on the other platforms, no knocks to any of them, but this is just why I prefer Periscope.
Yeah, totally.
There is a 10, 15, 30 second, sometimes even a minute delay by the time that you see their comment and the time that you can respond back to them. So by the time you respond back to them, the person's already gone.
Totally.
Because they think that you're ignoring them, because live streaming is all about the here and now and interaction and being able to ask questions right on the spot. That's why people love it so much, because If it wasn't, it would just be YouTube. It would be like watching a video or going to the movies. I mean, who wants to do that? I mean, there's a market for that, but live streaming is a totally different animal.
Yeah, it's a two-way conversation. And I completely agree with you on latency. I know Facebook, YouTube, other platforms are desperately trying to get those down. I don't know, desperately, but they're working really hard to get that latency down. But Periscope came out of the gate with that. And I read a great post by one of their lead engineers on some of the ways they solve that challenge, and it was really interesting. They definitely worked really hard to make it as immediate and quick as possible. So real quick, I want to, as we were saying, it's a two-way conversation. A couple other comments popped in here that I just want to acknowledge. So Julie was saying, harness the power to tell stories, so tell women's stories. And then another fan here popped in. She, let me see, I have it right here, Joanne. I lost it. She said, hi, Joanne. I joined Paragirls, and it's really helped me. It looks like with her live cooking show. Love, love, love Periscope, says Leslie Nance, because I guess she's doing this awesome live cooking show, which I'd love to see. And
it's awesome. It's awesome. Actually, there are so many ladies that are doing live cooking shows that are amazing. It's not just about the cooking, like I'm saying it, because you learn something with the cooking, but it's about the getting to know that person and getting to like be in their kitchen with them, being their friend. It's really, really great.
Yeah, and Laura mentions that it helped her step outside of her box, and it just really got her out there, which I think is exactly what you're talking about. If you have that encouragement and you feel like it's safe to step out and get comfortable, then you're much more likely to do it. Whereas you might hold back or be nervous or just say, no, I just can't do that. It's not me. If you don't have that ready community that you've built. How many how many ladies have joined Paragirls at this point?
Wow, I think we're right around 10,000. We're probably like 9,600 or something like that. It hovers, it goes, because people, they come in, they're like, I don't want to do this, and then they come out. Then there's people that come in, they stay in, and then they go crazy. I mean, it's a mixed bag, like any group. But the more that you get heard about, people are like, oh, that's something for me. Yeah. So I want to encourage you, if you're a lady and you love live streaming, whether it's on Facebook Live or Twitch or YouTube or Periscope or Instagram Live, we help all platforms. It's not just Periscope. We started off as Paragirls, you know what I mean? But I mean, there's nuances of each of the platforms.
Right. And we'll get back into that actually, because I would like to talk a little bit about that. That's amazing that you've got this many members joined, and and that membership. That sounds like a thriving community. So let's talk briefly. So you were mentioning you love it, the latency and the low latency specifically on Periscope. Now, I know also that sort of immediacy is what Periscope's known for, that maybe the audience doesn't have the attention span of supposedly some of the audience on other platforms. Can you talk a little bit about that? I've certainly noticed that when we stream on Periscope, it's hard to get higher view retention with people. We seem to get more people stopping by the streams, but they don't stay for as long. Maybe you don't have that built-in social fabric that something like Facebook provides. Can you speak a little bit about your experience with retention and audience attention on Periscope relative to other platforms?
Yeah, definitely. So the community factor is it here on Periscope. So this is I mentioned this in the past, and that's when you start to find your niche. You find your crew, you find your people, you find your community, and those are the people that are waiting. They're waiting for you to come on, and then they come in, and then they talk with the other people that are in the audience as well. It's not necessarily all about your content all the time. And I like to say that to a lot of the ladies that are watching, because a lot of people are nervous. They're like, well, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to talk about. We need you guys to get out of your head. It's also about the community. You're throwing a party. You're allowing people to congregate somewhere, and then they can chit chat together, find out how everything is going. It's kind of like the water cooler, or like going to a concert where you're watching the singer, but you're hanging out with your friends, and you're chit chatting, and you're having your hot dog and your wine and all that. So it's different.
That's really interesting. I never thought about that. Sometimes it's just you are providing a space for for your community.
Yes. Yes.
Very interesting. That I've never thought of it like that. I've always thought that it was about the content, and I'm not saying it isn't, but I always thought that was really the only reason people showed up. But I guess you're right. At a certain point, it becomes much more than just that.
Right. I mean, content is important.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. Because if you don't have something good to stream about, and everyone's gonna be like, okay, I gotta go. I'm gonna go to somebody else. You have to have a good energy. You have to have some charm. You have to have something that's gonna bring people to the yard. You know that song?
To the yard.
Yeah. But it's twofold.
Yeah.
So I think like Facebook is more content driven, where people go, they look, and they leave, because people have giant fan bases. They've got businesses.
Right.
They have businesses on Periscope as well, but like I said, it's really a community thing.
Interesting. So yeah, let's talk about monetization, and is Periscope a good route for businesses and entrepreneurs or people that are looking to market their business? And if so, why or why not?
Oh, definitely. So there's a couple reasons. So if you have a business, you can reach so many new people every single time that you go live. And I'm talking about people that you would never have had access to. So let's compare it to Facebook. So Facebook, you have your page, and you have people that subscribe or like your page, and they'll get a notification when they come out that you're live, and they come and they watch. But how are people supposed to find you, new people that haven't heard of you?
Right.
The only way is if somebody shares you with their audience,
right,
or their friends or their network. Periscope is very, very different. There are so many different ways to be discovered. There's a map where you can be found on a global map, depending on where you live or where you're broadcasting from. There's a random list where just everybody that's live, they show you. There's specific channels. So if you are, say, a foodie or a cooking show,
your type of content.
Yeah, you could put a hashtag food, or if you are teaching something, you could do
Does
hashtag
Periscope own the channels? Do they kind of decide what the categories are?
Yes, they curate them. So,
cool.
But then they, whatever's in your title, they funnel them into those channels. Okay. Yeah. So, and also because they are owned by Twitter, they're integrated with Twitter. So if you have a large Twitter following, it'll bounce out to Twitter. And of course, hashtags. Hashtags are key for searching for anything random or not so random, right? If you're looking for live streaming, you just look for hashtag live streaming, and everything having to do that has been hashtagged with live streaming will come up in the search on Twitter and in Periscope.
Yeah. So, that seems like the discoverability is huge, right? So there just seems to be a lot of routes that new audience people can find your live content and your live streams on Periscope, as opposed to the kind of the rigidity of Facebook or YouTube. I guess YouTube's a little, again, it doesn't necessarily have quite as much of the natural sort of central hub that like a place like Periscope is offering. It seems like the team at Periscope's really good at doing a curation of the types of content to try to keep it organized and keep it flowing and keep more of the videos going around so more people can find them.
Right.
So how do you, what do you recommend to people that are streaming on Periscope to, once they get somebody to stop by their live stream, what are some ways to keep somebody there that, will that just naturally occur if they'll just kind of understand that this is sort of, some part of them will know that this is the stream that really is a good match for them, or they'll just move on and that kind of just happens naturally? Or do you actually recommend some practice techniques to grab those drop-ins?
Oh, definitely. If you have a business, or if you want people to join you, whatever it is, if you have a business opportunity or a mission or a vision or whatever it is, you have to tell people what to do. Unfortunately, people kind of just stare at you, and they're like, wow, that person's really, really cool. They're giving great information. So you have to prompt them. You have to tell them, hit those 3 dots down there in the corner and follow me, so that you will get a notification whenever I go live. And they'll be like, oh yeah, I need to do this, because people need to be reminded sometimes, because you get distracted very, very easily.
Totally.
So that's one way. So then whenever you're following somebody, you get a notification whenever they do go live. Now, if you want, you can put a clickable link in your profile, and people can always find you that way as well.
Right.
Or you can tell people to connect with you on Twitter, since it's integrated. So you can continue the conversation with not instant messages, but direct messages, and follow up that way.
Got it. So we have a great comment that I just found from one of your Perry girls from at Realty Goddess.
Yes.
And she says, "This is my tribe, and I love our fearless leader. # Perry girls."
Oh.
And let's see if we can even put that on screen, Deverly. I'm going to. If you want to take the comment live, I'll see if I can push it. There it is.
I have to tell you, Andrew, that one of the largest and probably the most important factors of the success of Perry Girls is because of our leadership team. And like any great organization, it starts from the top, right? So if you find people that have your back, they share your vision, they share your passion, grab onto those people and hug them, embrace them, keep them close and dear to you. And you guys, like I said, if you have your own organization, or you have a group, you have a whatever it is, keep those people tight with you, because you guys can do anything together.
Yeah, I think that's a really good piece of advice. Your 1,000 true fans, or 100 true fans, or the people that are really committed to your mission. You can't do it alone. You need other people to succeed. It just doesn't work without a tribe helping each other out. So,
right.
That's a good point.
Right, and it's because they own it. It embodies the vision embodies them. And it kind of takes over, because you work together because you believe in it, and you want to help so many people. And that's the Perry Girls is about helping. We want to help so many people, and it's a lot of people are like, well, where do you make money? How do you do that? And
right.
It's not about that. And a lot of people don't understand. Community is first.
Community is most important.
Real relationships where you really care and support others is where it's at.
Did it take you a while to figure that out? Was that something that you didn't understand originally when you started in 2015? And
No.
Because you wanted to work from home, right? You just knew you're like, I got this. I was good on camera. I already knew it's about community. It's not about money. So tell me a little bit about your journey in Periscope. We need to know a little bit about what you've learned along the way.
Oh gosh. Well, when you asked me that question, did you know about that? I never thought about monetizing Perry Girls, because that's not my mission. My mission was to bring together women that want to learn and that want to rise with the tides of everybody's success. Because there's too many mean girls around. I mean, I know you're not a female, so you don't understand that concept, but people are so busy tearing each other down all the time. And I just don't like being in that energy. And I find it so more fulfilling to be around people that want to lift each other up, that want to see people succeed, that want to make things happen for other people, and put people in place that can help facilitate with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I totally get that. I think that's way more interesting than the reverse. So that was your mission from the get-go, is to find a community of like-minded people that would and women that would help each other out. So that seems like a really great place to start. And if you keep that your focus, you've already more than succeeded at that, right?
Right.
Where do you go? Like, what is the what are some of the challenges you've faced with Perry Girls? Maybe that's a better way to put it. As you were building this, what were some of the struggles you had to deal with, or what are some things that you are right now on your to-do list? Like, I'm still trying to figure this out. We still want to get this. How do you want to grow?
Wow, that's a really great question, because it's been a great ride, I have to tell you. I mean, there's always the one bad or two bad apples that kind of come in and go, like anything in life, and you kind of just say, you know what, we don't think that this is a great fit for you. Here's the door. But we've been very, very fortunate that we are growing and helping people in ways that not most organizations do so. You know what I'm saying? It's been great. It's been great.
Okay. Well, I'm glad. Are you planning to do you want to talk a little bit maybe about tools for doing this and live streaming? We mentioned that, obviously one of the reasons we want to have you on here was because Wirecast is one of your tools in your toolkit. Can we talk a little bit about different tools that you have used to get to Periscope or other platforms, and sort of what types of, things you like to do with them and how they work?
Yeah, definitely. Because Periscope is now allowing, they've been doing this for past year and a half, to create these great broadcasts where you can look more professional and you can do the fancy graphics and text and bring people in. It's awesome, and it makes you more unique when you're on Periscope. So when you talked about tools, Wirecast is a great tool, and it's one of those softwares that I think everybody should try, and I do believe that you guys have a free trial, right?
Yeah, we do. It's actually the software is not going to limit. It's not going to cut you off after 20 days. What it does is it puts a watermark on the screen and this really annoying thing. So if you just want to stream for 30 seconds and then stop, and then 30 seconds, you'll be fine. But yeah, no, it's a great way to learn the software, try it out, test it out. And then if you're even more interested, you can actually reach out to the sales team and say, hey, I'm really interested in buying, but before I do, I want to get through a couple live streams with this. I really need to test it. And if they think you're not just trying to get a free license and you have a good, valid business case for why you'd like to have a completely unlocked version, they can hook you up with like an expiring, unlocked version that'll, after like 14 days or 7 days. So those are by special request for certain business owners. But yeah, long story short, yes.
Did you hear that, you guys? You might want to rewind and listen to that. But you guys, we understand. We want to, in the Perry Girls, what we always like to do is we like to give options, and we like to show ladies all the different resources that are available to them. And then they can pick and choose depending on what works best for them, whether it's budget, whether it's options, whether it's ease of use. So Wirecast is, I always say, it's the Mercedes-Benz of broadcasting software.
Oh, so nice of you to say.
It's true. But, sometimes people want to find other options, and we teach other options. So it's not like, okay, you have to buy this.
Right.
No, there's
different tools.
A, B,
right.
C. And so we teach that in the Perry Girls, and we show them what they can do and what's possible. Because a lot of people are like, how did you create that graphic or bring two people in? And we want to show ladies how to do it so that they can arm themselves and rock it out on Periscope. When it comes to hardware and software, we always have ladies that are giving their tips on best hardware. So like we have a really great relationship. I'm sure you know.
Gotta love Aaron. Oh yeah, he's been on the show.
Oh, we love their equipment. It is the best stuff ever. And I know so many women that have purchased crap off of like Amazon or at the swap meet or Walmart. No knocking those other folks, but how many crappy pieces of equipment do you need before you're like, okay, I need to get something that's going to last a little bit longer? So we teach, like I said, you can get the cheapo stuff, but when you're sick and tired of having 8 different pieces of crap tripods, you might want to just go with this one.
Yeah, it's cheaper in the long run, and you're going to be much happier.
Yeah. And what we do is we also work with our friends, that we like to call them, like you, Andrew, about getting discounts and opportunities so that they can get the products.
Oh, we should do let us know. We'd be happy to do training if Perry Girls want to do a Wirecast only training, or they want to learn more about what's possible in it, or just kind of say, hey, I'm interested, but I would just want to know what else can it do or how does it work. We can absolutely set that up.
I love that. See, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You guys, it's a relationship, and you want to help these ladies get to where they want to get to.
Totally. And I want to force anyone to use a tool they're not comfortable with or they're not interested in using. Obviously, Wirecast isn't the only tool out there. It just has its set of things that it does really well and that work for a lot of certain people. And then, as you said, if you're going from your phone, Wirecast may not be the right tool for the job, right?
Right.
So do you start with the Periscope app? Is that where you get started?
In terms of brand new?
Yeah, your brand new Periscope app, Instagram app.
Yes, you can go to Periscope app, or you can actually go from Twitter, and then you can hit the live button on Twitter, and then it'll prompt you to download Periscope. So it'll help
That's
you out.
really cool. So do you think that eventually that's all just gonna be one app?
I don't think so, because there's so much more in Periscope, which is like the discoverability tools, and it's. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you have some other thoughts on where you think Periscope? What else you think they're going to be doing? Do you think they'll be rolling in? Are they already rolling in ads onto to monetize their own platform? Because obviously they have to pay for all the infrastructure of the stuff that they're doing, and so they have to figure out ways that they want to kind of support that. So what are you seeing already in terms of how that's impacting content and streams and Perry Girls?
I have not seen the rolling out of the ads yet. I don't know what they have planned on doing, but like you said, they are a business and they have to figure out a way to help pay for the infrastructure and pay for everybody using the platform. I don't know. I do know that they do have this thing called Super Hearts now, where you can purchase hearts and give them to your favorite broadcasters in support of them, and they receive a percentage of those Super Hearts, and they do take a percentage off of that to help facilitate that program. So I believe the Apple Store or the Google Play Store takes a percentage, and then Periscope takes a percentage, and then the rest of it goes to the broadcaster that it gets donated to. So I think that's one of their revenue streams.
Interesting. It's interesting to see those features roll across different platforms. Obviously Twitch started with the subscription and the Patreon and all that stuff, and then I think YouTube adopted Super Chats. I think Facebook's probably won't be far behind, and now Super Hearts makes perfect sense on Periscope. Go ahead.
Great. This is new. This is, I think, maybe not even a year old, and a lot of people don't know about it. So, and if it's a great way to get seen too. So if you're an audience member and you want to get into the eye of your favorite broadcasters, when you give a Super Heart, it does like fireworks and stuff, and then your name comes up and says, your first Super Heart from this person. So everybody and their mother who's watching the broadcast sees that you've given and donated to your favorite broadcaster. So it's really, really cool.
That is super awesome. All right. Yeah. Well, Joanne, is there anything else? Where can people get more information about Paragirls? If there's someone out there watching now who wants to get involved, maybe get the push that they need to go live themselves, where can they find you?
They can find us over at perrygirls.com. It takes you straight to our Facebook group.
Okay.
It's totally free, ladies. Don't think that there's any catches or any like secret handshake that you have to do.
There we go.
It's totally free. We want to see you. We want to help you. We're there. We're there for you. We're not going anywhere.
And Deborah Lee did a nice job on the QR code. So anybody who wants to just point their phone at the screen right now, I think that'll just take you right to that link. Although that link's not hard to remember.
Right. It's really. Somebody was saying, "Isn't Periscope dying?" I don't think so. I don't believe it's going to be dying anytime soon. Live streaming is where it's at. And Periscope has a leg up on the latency, I have to tell you, and the discoverability.
They do. How are you doing? And we have another contact card for you, so we'll do that in just a sec. But I did have a question. One thing you brought up was interview styles. How do you like to conduct interviews? Are you using Zoom, and do you capture your screen? What are some tools that you like to use?
We're using Zoom. Yeah, we like to. And I love that you have this new rendezvous feature. So I'd love for you to talk about that really, really quickly. But
that might be a good learning lesson: how to conduct interviews to Periscope with rendezvous.
Yeah, that it would be. It would be, because there's just, it's so cumbersome. And I wish Periscope would just integrate that within their own app. That would make it easy, kind of like Facebook Live has done. But until then, we have to use what we've got.
Right. Okay, well, yeah, we can definitely maybe talk about that and maybe run a live webinar or session on however we want to do that, but we can talk more about that. And then Joanne, how do people contact you? You obviously do offer consulting services, and if people could reach out to you, why, besides just becoming members of Paragirls, what are the types of things that you like to work with people on?
Oh, I love women that think big. And men, okay, I'll take the men too, but women that think big, that are just innovative, that want to create things, opportunities. I'm not talking about like I want to join your MLM, ladies. I'm talking about that things that are greater than you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I just love collaboration. So you can get a hold of me on Facebook at facebook.com/Go Rice Girl.
Go
Really,
Rice
really
Girl.
super simple.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's me.
Are there some recent activities or collaborations that you are really excited about that you want to share with us?
I am. Oh my gosh. So we've just started, like I said, that we're not just Periscope centric. We like to expand across all social media because we want our ladies to really dominate anything that they put their hands on. So we just
Dominate,
started
totally.
yeah, we just started something called Instapods. So if you are on Instagram and you want to kick ass on Instagram, you want to just dominate and learn organically how to create more followers and comments and hearts and all that kind of stuff, we have a group for you. We do. And it's you just go to instapods.perrygirls.com. We're really teaching our ladies best practices on how to get the most success on Instagram, because Instagram is just it's going nuts right now.
Blown up.
So yeah, we want to teach these ladies this too. So
Awesome. Well, I think you've got the skills, the know-how. You've already got one platform under your belt, and you're kicking butt, dominating on that one. And I can't wait to see your global takeover of all of our social media video broadcasting channels. It'll be a happy, smiling place. So I look forward to that. So Joanne, thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast, and thanks to all of you guys for watching and kicking in your comments, telling us how your experience was with Parrot Girls. Claudia says, again, just a lot more love here in the comments, Joanne. So we've got love Parrot Girls, helped me get over my fear of going live, unlimited support is amazing, and she transitioned from watching to joining and broadcasting. That's from Vanessa. And we have Lynn. She's saying, Joanne, fam, helped me learn how to do live videos. Hi, Joanne. We have Tala Smith, best platform I've ever used for my health advocacy work. So just a ton of success stories here in the comments. And thank you guys for showing up and joining the conversation and with this fantastic interview with your awesome leader. So appreciate it, Joanne. So I look forward to talking with you soon, maybe doing whatever we can do to help you guys. If there's some learning session that would particularly apply to your group or your paragroup girls, more than happy to help you guys with that. So just reach out to us, Joanne, and we want to have you on again soon and talk more about Instapods.
Yes, thank you so much for having me on. And like I want to just show you, like you can see like all these comments that are in the Facebook Live and on the Periscope. This is what I'm talking about, the strength of community and the support that you put badass women together. This is what happens. Look at all these ladies and the few men that are in there too. Badass! Look at you put them all together. They're so awesome.
They're
Rock stars,
amazing.
you guys.
It's true.
Yes.
Actually, we have a little treat, a little kind of crazy idea you and I cooked up yesterday to try this. So Deborah Lee, I know things were kind of crazy and you've had to do some insanity, but the reason Joanne is doing a green screen behind her is to see if we can actually put her and me in the same room together. Not just a split screen, but could you put a background behind both of us that's the same? And so see if you can do that. Maybe just chroma key each of us and then just put one third layer in Wirecast below us. And we'll see if you can pull that off, Deborah Lee. And while we are waiting for you to pull on some green screen magic out of your hat, Deborah Lee, hopefully it's not too much pressure for you. We'll just cover some of more of these awesome comments from the group here. So do you have anyone you want to pull a comment out to, or do you want me to keep going, Joanne?
You can keep going, but I just see Larry Becker here. I see Claudia. I see Marlene, Lachey. Oh my God, I'm just like looking through this. It was hard because I had to actually use an iPad.
Got it.
I see Kama. Yes, my bestie. Michelle Hayward, Laura Lalaki. Oh my gosh, Tomas, Amanda Smith. It just goes on. You guys are just so awesome. I have to tell you, these ladies, amazing, amazing, amazing.
Yeah,
Larissa, oh my gosh.
I'm going to put you, let's see, so hold on. I'm just going to mute my mic here. So you keep going. I'm going to talk to Deborah Lee real quick, sure we can pull this off. Oh, wait, it's happening. You're beginning to fuzz in. You're beginning to fuzz in. So, yeah, pretty cool here. Yeah, so I think because we're getting a compressed signal, obviously it's best when you do this automatically with a high bandwidth. But, yeah, you're beginning to fuzz into my room here. Not bad. Not bad. They're different shades of green too, so obviously we have a compressed signal, but that's pretty awesome, I have to say. So we were messing with our own green screen in the studio before the show because we switched. I told you we completely broke down our broadcasting studio and rebuilt it from the ground up. And what we didn't realize was that for whatever reason, the Mac was very different on the way it took the chroma key filters than from how we were doing it with on this new machine. And so we just messed with it, and we were putting lights. Like, we actually boosted the light like crazy in this room, and then we even boosted our frame rate for our cameras. So as you can see, I'm on a green screen, and you can, if I shake my hand really fast, you can kind of see a little bit of an outline.
Right.
That's the green screen effect, but if you have a higher frame rate, it's got more pictures to work with, so it can kind of get those gaps in the fingers. So it's kind of an interesting tip there, but it took a lot of green screen's tricky work. It's never it's always a work in progress.
It is, and I have to tell you, in terms of green screen, Wirecast is the bomb. Like, I've used others. I've used OBS, you know, the freebie. Wirecast, you just go boom, and it just does perfect. I don't know how you guys do it, but it saves me a lot.
And we got more coming, actually. So we're continuing to make it even better and better. We want it to be the best green screen out there.
Yeah, it is.
So we can keep earning that Mercedes brand comparison. All right. Well, Deborah Lee, thanks for playing along with that. I think that we did our best there. We got kind of ghost version of Joanne. Wait, hold up, Deborah Lee. What? Oh, thanks, Trevor, for working with us there, Trevor and Deborah Lee. And they're in the back room kind of working together on that. So I appreciate you playing along with our crazy idea here.
Yeah, that was fun.
All right, we'll do more, and maybe we'll set up some more fun backgrounds like that in the future. But Joanne, thanks again. I really appreciate your time and sticking with us for the whole hour. We are at the hour, so I think it's time to say goodbye and wrap this up.
We could go on for days,
I think we could. We totally could, right? All right. Well, thank you so much. I will talk with you soon. And to all you Paragirls out there, thank you so much for joining us. And if you want, or you are a Wirecast user, you want to learn more, we do these live streams every Thursday at 2:30 p.m. or just about every Thursday. So just subscribe to the Facebook channel or the YouTube channel, or share it out if you like that. So guys, thanks again for joining us. And thanks to Joanne for being on the show. She was awesome. I'm so happy I got to meet her on the show and interview her and talk to her. That's one of my favorite things about doing this show, is to meet great people like Joanne. And it sounds like you guys have an awesome leader there in her, and the mission that she's got going on, I think, is so awesome. So thanks again for everybody who tuned in, and hopefully we'll do more with Joanne and Paragirls in the future. If you guys want to tweet at us or share us some streams you're doing with Wirecast, let us know. We would love to see them. If you want to get notified of when we go live or what we've got going on, we tend to send you an email with a link when we are about to go live. So you could just get a link right to your inbox, and that way you can know whether or not you want to tune in. We also tell you about what's coming up as far as upcoming guests, upcoming show topics. We do have some really fun topics and some fun guests coming up in the next few months. So this is a great place to go get notified. Telestream.net/WirecastLive. That's our email list. We won't spam you. We'll just keep you up to date with show information. And I'd like to thank our technology partners. I don't know if we have our card for that, but we have a bunch of technology partners that help us make the show. We use prompters from prompterpeople.com. So if you want a teleprompter, I can see all of my scripts or our shots right in the camera as I look. I can even look at Joanne while I'm talking to her, because we can put her up on the prompter. So it helps me make eye contact with the guest. So prompters are great. We love them. And the Prompter People make very good, affordable ones. There are also a bunch of other technology partners who, like Blackmagic, AJA, that help us bring in our capture cards from our or make the capture cards that help us bring in our camera signals. So Wirecast is obviously likes camera signals, and so we need cards and manufacturers to help us get those signals into the software. New tech with our Skype NDI, talk show box, which is what we brought Joanna in on today, and many, many other technology partners. So thanks again to everybody who makes the show possible. We will be back next week with more Wirecast Live next Thursday, and we should have a very fun show for you, posting more information about that upcoming show on our Facebook, on our YouTube channel, and and even our Twitter and social media channels. So follow us on any of them if you want to stay up to date that way and you prefer the social channels. All right, guys, it's been real. It's been another episode of Wirecast Live. Thanks again to all of you for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Bye for now.